Holly, and a couple months ago I did a video talking about some of my favorite romance novel covers, and in that video I had mentioned wanting to do a video comparing romance novel covers from different countries. So I live in the US, so that's like my base of reference for this. So I was going to do a video talking about like different covers and like what plays in different countries or different areas of the world, and I still want to do that at some point, but instead I thought for this video what might be fun is to actually take all of the books that I said were my favorite romance novel covers and look them up, and I'll look them up on Goodreads and look at the editions to see the international editions and then just give like my commentary on them, I guess, and like if I like them better or worse or the same, I don't know, and I have not pre-looked at these. So if I have seen any of these before, it was just through like the authors sharing them on social media. So first is My American Duchess by Eloisa James. So, and I will put the original cover here. And then let me see if there is any other cover. And I'm sure some of these won't have international covers. Oh, okay. Okay, so this just says that it is a Kindle cover, but I don't think... So I'll put it up here so you can see it. I don't think this was like a cover change for the US, just because I don't think this type of cover would play really well with the US romance market. It's a pretty cover, but it looks to me more like historical fiction trying to get like a Downton Abbey crowd than a romance novel, which I guess maybe is what they're trying to do. Okay, so this is a Bulgarian cover. Okay, so I'll put it right here. Okay, so what's really interesting about this one is the hair color change. So in this one, the heroine... Really? Really? Don't show people your butt. I wonder if it's my hair. Like... if I put something in my hair that he's been like this for the whole time I'm filming. Anyways, so there's a hair color change with this one. So the heroine, or the cover model, has blonde hair instead of dark hair. I can't remember what the heroine actually has. I actually could see this as like a romance novel cover here in the US. Her makeup is a little dramatic for me, but I could see it, I guess. But it is interesting, the hair color. Oh, here's French. There's so many. I wasn't expecting this. This video is gonna be long. Okay, so again, I'll put the cover right here. So this one is a lot like that other one that I can't figure out if it's for the US or not. Like it's just very classic. It's just a girl with some curls. She has dark hair. I don't know, it's a pretty cover, but it doesn't like strike me as anything special. Okay, so this, I was expecting something like this. So this is Indonesian, which again, right here. I think it's really pretty, and like I said, I was expecting some covers like this where it's just more an image, like these are flowers. It's very pretty, but again, I don't think it would work here. But if you were trying to downplay like the sexuality or anything, I think that works. Okay, that's it. So the next one is another Eloisa James, and that is A Kiss at Midnight. Okay, and there's 34 editions, so who knows how this is gonna go. Okay, so Portuguese is the first one. Okay, that's interesting. Okay, so I'll put it here. It's a pretty cover. It doesn't scream romance to me, except for the fact that it says romance on the cover. What I think is particularly weird about this one is if I were to see this independently, not knowing anything about the book, I would think that this is maybe like a Sleeping Beauty retelling, or something. I have no idea what the berry pomegranate seed like things are, but it looks more like a Sleeping Beauty story, and this is a Cinderella retelling. But I mean, it's a cute cover. Okay, this one says it's English. So this is the same narrator or the same publisher, I'll put it here, as that other one that was English for My American Duchess. So it's still English. I don't really know how this works, because I would think Avon would just publish everything, but maybe it's like a UK thing. I don't know. Here, let me Google the publisher. It's Hiatus. I don't know. Let's see. Oh, okay. So it's an imprint. So it's a Little Brown Group imprint, but it is UK. Okay, so it's UK based. Okay, so that makes sense. That makes sense that it would be English. I am kind of surprised. I know that for YA there are UK editions and then US editions, and I think UK editions usually go to Australia as well, and I think Canada gets kind of a mix of the two depending on how they're published. I know there are also Canadian publishers, so, but I don't know if there's ever just Canadian editions. I don't think I've ever heard that. I don't know. But okay, so this makes sense. So this one, I actually think this is really cute. It reads more new adult to me than romance, but it's definitely playing on the Cinderella thing with the glass slipper and everything. I actually really like the color of the Kiss at Midnight. Okay, this one is French. That was the weirdest way to say French. Oh, français. Alright, so I'll put it here. It's pretty. It seems a little, so I want to say plain, but like it's not plain. I don't know. But you definitely have like the same kind of element as the original, where like she's walking barefoot. You don't see another shoe, but I don't think, yeah, I don't think there's one like hidden or anything. Her dress is pretty, but it looks a little like modern to me, but I mean, whatever, it's fine. Oh, and my battery's dying. Hold on, let me change you. And we're back. Okay, so, ooh, Romanian. I think it's interesting how specific things get. Okay, so this is pretty. She's in a pretty red dress, but I don't think it's anything special, and it definitely doesn't scream like Cinderella, which is fine. Ooh, Portuguese. Okay, this one is very Cinderella. This actually reminds me a lot of the cover I have for An Offer from a Gentleman, which is the Cinderella retelling in the Bridgerton series. I'll put that cover right here, the edition I have, because it's just a glass slipper. It's pretty, it's cute. I feel like this would have played really well in like early 2000s US market. Croatian. Sorry, this is gonna be a really long video. It's gonna be awful at it. Okay, so I was wondering if we would get any like this. So this is a really pretty cover. I think it's very beautiful. This reads to me like historical fiction, not historical romance. It's very like covered up and very like stark, but I feel like that's a really like harsh word. I don't mean it in a harsh way. But I feel like if you just showed me this book cover, I'd be like, oh, that's a historical romance or a historical fiction, like something like not that I've read it, but like Kristen Hanna writes or something. But it's pretty. Oh, Indonesian. Look at this head thing this lady is wearing. I hope these pictures are better when I like, if I can find them and they're better quality, because on Goodreads they are not the best. This one has a girl on the cover. Her dress is pretty. She's got this crazy headpiece, but it's kind of weird. Like the tree, like the border of leaves and the light, it almost looks like tropical-y, and that's definitely not it, but it's cute. Ooh, Italian. This looks like a Hallmark cover. Does this not look like a Hallmark cover with that top, or a Hallmark Harlequin? And the like, ugh, it's very, it's very Harlequin. And pink. That's an interesting choice to go with for the cover. It's the first one. Oh no, the Croatian one I think had a guy on it, but that's the first one with a guy on the cover. Okay, so German. I feel like I'm gonna have to like stop going through all of these. So German, a little sassy, showing a little knee. Okay, so this girl has darker hair. She could not have dark hair, and it could be like the light, but that's interesting because all of the other ones have been blonde. It's pretty. Hungarian. Okay, again, this feels kind of like old school, like 90s romance where it's just like an item. I have no idea why this clock thing. Oh, maybe the clock because of midnight. Oh, Polish. It's just a girl in a dress in woods. That's an interesting dress choice because you would never see a woman wearing a dress those colors, I feel like, in a historical setting. I mean, I think it's really pretty, but you would never see it. Not the historical romances are the most accurate, but you know what I mean. Oh my gosh, this Russian one. Oh my gosh. This is like some old school, like Joanna Lindsay, Kathleen Woodiwiss cover style with Fabio on it. I'm pretty sure I have a Joanna Lindsay somewhere that is like this, where it's like the couple like in some sort of like cutout image thing. Oh man, this book is not that old. I think it's interesting. I wonder why the publishers in those countries, like why it would be different, like what would be the reasoning, but I don't know. Okay, so how about A Duke of Her Own by Eloise James. Hopefully there's not 50 million of these. And this is the original. Okay, so this one is English, so I'm wondering if this is, I don't know, so I'm just gonna assume it's UK. Okay, I mean, it's a cute cover. It's a little muted for me, I feel like. I don't know, but her dress is probably pretty accurate to the time period that this takes place in. Oh, Indonesian. So many Indonesians. I didn't realize Indonesia was such a bustling romance market. Okay, this is a really pretty cover, but this feels, it feels like it could be like an older school romance, or something more just historical fiction-y, but it's very bright. Which actually, I don't think this book was very bright and light. Like, I could see this being like a Julia Quinn cover or something, like very light and airy. But I mean, it's really pretty. I wonder if that's a real house. Oh, Italian. Italian, just doing the Harlequin style. Yeah, I don't know what else to call it other than like very Harlequin. Like man and girl and like man and woman in passionate embrace with the border at top. I don't love like what she looks at. I don't know. There's something about like her body language or something that seems a little uncomfortable to me. I don't know. Oh, French. Oh, okay, so this is interesting. So this is pretty. Oh, and the title is different. So the one for this, just, I don't know a ton of languages. I know like this much French, and I know like this much Spanish, and maybe like this much Italian. Le Duc de Vier, whatever, that's the hero's name. So this one is specifically titled after the Duke. So that's interesting. Which he's a character throughout the series, so I can see that being a choice you would make. I think this is a pretty cover. Again, I think it's a little muted. I think I'm used to like very like bright colors, and just bright, like almost like if you put like a filter over it or something. I don't know. It's very pretty. It seems fairly like authentic to the time period in which this is set. Like I think her hair is probably dusted with like powder, which makes sense. and it's like a very elaborate dress, which again makes sense the time period this is set in. It's cute. Ooh, Turkish. I think this is our first Turkish one. So I feel like this dress is pretty similar in color to the US edition. I like the fan, but her positioning seems awkward. The dress is probably really accurate. She looks like she's pregnant and like holding like her stomach or something. And then like I think this is a man's hand like coming in to hold her. I don't know. There's something about it that's a little uncomfortable, but it's a pretty cover. There's another Italian one. This one makes no sense to me. Like, this looks like it would be a contemporary romance cover. I mean, it's pretty, but it doesn't tell me anything about the book. Oh wait, this is Russian, but I feel like this is the exact same cover as the other one. Maybe that's what they just do in Russia. They just do the same cover every time. I don't know. It could be different. I just don't remember. So moving on to another author, and we'll do To Seduce a Sinner by Elizabeth Hoyt, which I will put to the original US cover here. Oh my gosh, there's 31 editions. Oh, Portuguese. Okay. Alright, interesting. So again, a hair color change with this one. She's blonde instead of brunette. This looks way more like a contemporary romance cover to me. Like, it looks like she's in like a bra or something, and like I think this is like her knee she's like holding up to her. It looks like she's like laying in bed. Like, I could see this as like a new adult cover or something. Spanish. I think it's our first Spanish one. Oh, this feels really old. Like a really old romance cover. It's fine. The background is a lot, especially with that dress choice. And he's got the shirt tucked in but opened thing going on, and the sort of longish hair in the back thing that was very common, I feel like, in the 90s. Oh, Italian with the Harlequin style covers. This is really blurry on my phone. I mean, I guess you get seduction out of it, but I don't know. The bridge in the background is very odd. Okay, French. So I don't hate this cover, but I think it's got a lot going on, like the library books. She has very big lips. I keep just staring at them. They're very distracting. It looks more like it would be like a thriller-y mystery. Like, I don't know. Indonesia always showing up. Okay, I really like this cover. I don't think it like makes sense at all for the book, but I think that this cover is really pretty. I love like the mirror and like the book on the vanity. I don't know, like I just think it's a really pretty cover. And if you wanted something that was just very like subtle and pretty, like that would probably catch my eye. I would probably change, like if I were trying to like give feedback and saying like what would make this book appeal to me with this cover, is I would probably bring the actual imaging down more, and cut that black bit out or down a lot. Oh, Hungarian. I think we had a Hungarian one before. Okay, so this is very old school romance as well, where you just have like flowers and images and stuff. I kind of wish that you didn't have that like red scarf thing at the top, and instead it was just the roses and ring thing like on the whole cover. I think that'd be prettier. I also think it's really weird to see like what colors they choose, because like that's red, but to me this book is so yellow because that's like the color it is in the US. Okay, so this was Italian, I think. No, Romanian. she looks really good. I like her dress, her body language, and everything is really cute. Got the little knee thing going on. But he looks kind of weird. I don't know, there's something about him that's kind of weird. Ooh, German. Oh, sexy, sexy. Again, a hair color change. She is blonde instead of being brunette. Oh, he is fully clothed. You don't see a fully clothed man on a romance novel cover very often. Her dress seems like a little modern. I don't know, but other than that, it's a pretty good romance novel cover. Portuguese. Oh, okay, so this looks like, I feel like this is the kind of cover like Berkeley would do. You see it more in contemporary romance or even YA. And I don't know, it kind of reminds me of, I think of Pride and Prejudice and Other Flavors, I think is what I'm thinking of. And then I think there's another Pride and Prejudice retelling that was like YA that came out recently, I think, that has a similar style. I think it's really pretty. I mean, I love my girls in pretty dresses, but I do think that this is a really pretty stylistic cover. Especially if you wanted something that wasn't so like overtly sexual. Okay, I'm gonna have to give up because this is just going too long. Okay, so next is Falling in Bed with the Duke by Lorraine Heath, which I will put the original US cover here. And let's see. Okay. Oh, Spanish. Okay. Oh, look at this Spanish cover now and what I love. Okay, so it is a back shot of a girl with a corset sort of kind of undone unrealistically, but it's pretty. The lens flare is weird to me, but I think it's a fairly pretty cover. Ooh, Portuguese. This is cute. So this is really pretty. I like the mask thing, but I feel like it makes no sense for this book from what I remember. Oh, Italian. Oh, and the title is different. This one's called Lady V. Okay, it's just like a girl sitting at a piano. That's an interesting choice. And it's different from all the other Italian ones that we've seen, too. I think that's interesting. It's pretty, but it's very plain to me. Oh, Hungarian. That's a dress. That is quite the dress that she has on. Okay, so generally I think this cover is a pretty good cover. I think you would see this in the US. But his hand on her waist, I don't know if there was like Photoshop involved, but like literally it looks like he is like holding her whole waist. And I know that there are people that tiny, but like it looks unnatural to me. It's kind of like making me feel weird. Oh, French. Okay, so this is pretty. I wouldn't necessarily like see this personally as an American and think that's a romance novel. But I think a lot of the French ones have had just women on the cover, which I have no issue with, obviously. So I don't know why I would say it doesn't scream romance. I don't know, it's very weird. What ideas you have in your head, like, to kind of think about them. This is Romanian. Oh wait, so I like the color of her dress, but it makes no sense. It looks like a modern dress. Her hair looks modern. Everything, it looks like a Harlequin contemporary romance to me. Harlequin probably because of the banner thing at the top. Oh, Indonesian. Okay, so an Indonesian one with a girl on the cover. This one's kind of weird because, so it's very colorful, which I love. I love her hair and her hairpiece. But it feels don't know if it's because she's so pale, like, I don't know if that's like Indonesians think white people are like super white, or if maybe like whiter skin is favored in Indonesia. I hope not. Please like your own skin color. It's beautiful. And so maybe that's why. So like literally that has to be fake. That has to have been like either like painted, airbrushed on, or it has to have been like photoshopped, because there's no way a girl is like that pale. Like, I don't know. I mean, it helps the dress pop. Four more. Oh my gosh. Why did I think this was a good idea? So Wicked and the Wallflower. So original cover here. Okay, so this is that UK one. Alright, it's pretty. It's cute. I mean, it's nothing sexy, but it's pretty. I like it. I kind of like how they added like detailing to it to make it a little bit more than just like a woman on the cover. Oh, Polish. Okay, this is pretty. I think it's a very beautiful cover, but it feels like something set in like the early 1900s, not something in the 1800s. I could be wrong, obviously, about like stylistically, but other than that, I think it's a pretty cover. I'd probably think it was more historical fiction, maybe because of that. I don't know. Okay, that's it. So then Devil in Spring by Lisa Kleypas. Okay, so this is the original US cover, and this is the UK cover. I don't like it at all. I think it's really boring, and I don't think that dress is flattering. I don't like it. That's all I have to say. Ooh, Spanish. Large print. Okay, this is pretty. It gives me the same kind of vibes as the original. Like, it's kind of like moonlit, a white bluish color dress, kind of like that Cinderella style where everybody thinks her dress is blue, but it's not really. Kind of a situation. I think this is really pretty. Ooh, Italian. Okay, this just seems like a really easy fluff. It'd be, if I saw this, I'd be like, okay, that's like a fluffy romance, maybe a little inspirational, but not necessarily. It could go either way. It's very bright. Again, lens flares. Why the lens flare choice? Is J.J. Abrams editing these photo shoots? This one is Portuguese, I think. Oh wait, this is pretty, but very subdued, not like what I'm used to at all, but I think it's pretty. Again, this is the kind of cover I would think to see on more of a historical fiction cover, but again, that's just like my US sensibilities. Oh, Bulgarian. So this looks like exactly like the US cover, pretty much, except that the guy is on the cover instead of just the girl, but it's like the same kind of body positioning for her, same type of dress, same kind of scenery, very similar. Indonesian. So this isn't a bad cover, like I don't hate it. What I don't love about it is it looks like she's almost like doesn't have half of her body, which is fine if she really didn't, but it looks like her dress just like goes away into bubbles and stuff. It's pretty, but it's kind of weird. Oh, French. It's very bright and light. Oh, more bubble treatment, like a filter, like the last one. It's the back of the dress. I don't love the back of the dress, but I mean, it's a fairly pretty cover. Ooh, Danish. I think this is our first Danish cover. It would be Lisa Kleypas though. She's like so popular. Okay, so I'm gonna be honest, this looks like really bad Photoshop. Like, it looks like there was like 3 stock images and somebody like edited them together. Like the background image, her, and then him. And then they're like staring at each other. You know what's interesting? So I see it on here, and I've seen it, like similar things on other covers, is they seem to say on the cover when the story takes place. And that's not something you get here in the US. Like obviously, like you have an idea, like a historical has like a historical, they're wearing historically appropriate or like vibing dresses a lot of times, but I've seen this a couple times. I think that's interesting. Oh, check. So that's like, you would totally have seen this in like the 90s in the US. I actually really like the purple. I think it's really pretty, but it's not like my favorite. Ooh, Hungarian. Okay, so I'm gonna be honest. I think this girl's dress is beautiful. I love the color. I love the dress in general. I think it would be great on somebody competing in Miss America or Miss Hungary. But it is most definitely not screaming historical. I would think that this was a contemporary romance if I saw it, but I would definitely think it was a romance. Ooh, German. I think it's gonna have to be the last one for this because this is just getting way too long. Okay, so this again feels like a really old, like a slightly more old school romance. You have them and then like an image on the bottom of a house. There's always houses. And he again has the shirt tucked in but opened somehow. She's very clothed, which is kind of a surprise. And he is like substantially lacking in like almost Photoshop style muscles, which I kind of appreciate. Let normal men's bodies be shown on romance covers. It's okay. So, okay, now we go into contemporary. Okay, this is gonna be interesting. So first is Woolbanger by Alice Clayton. What I consider the most controversial on my list of favorite romance book covers. Okay, so this is Italian, and the original I'll put right here. Okay. Oh, I love that the cat is on it. Oh, that's awesome. I think this is a cute cover. It totally screams like cute contemporary romance. I love it. I feel like it fits with the story. Okay, so a lot of these have the same cover and the language is just changed. Like the Spanish one, the Turkish one. Okay, Portuguese. This is, okay. I mean, it's a fine cover. I would definitely think it was like a contemporary romance, or maybe like a chick litty book, but I definitely don't think it like fits the story. Like it doesn't like scream the story or anything. Oh, so in Croatia, it's the same cover as the US version, but it's a color change. So instead of the pink, they have the blue, which there is a blue one for this series, but it is one of the spin-off books called Screwdrivered. Oh, Indonesia. Oh, okay, so this isn't like my favorite cover ever, but I get it. It's just like two hands on like a sheet or whatever. It's cute. It looks a little weird, like a little Photoshoppy, but it's fine. Gee, didn't we already do Portugal? Okay, is it me or does this look like a cover from a Sweet Valley High book? Because that's what I'm getting from it. Just saying. Okay, so then the last one is A Bollywood Affair by Sonali Dev. So this one, I think I am the most curious to see, one, if there are other covers and what changes are made, because this is the only one that doesn't feature white characters. So I'm wondering if there's like a change made. Okay, so this is also English, so this just must be like a reissue because it's by Kensington. Oh, it's really pretty. I kind of want it. I know that's not the point of this video, showing you other US editions, but I really like it and I really want it. I love the colors. I think I like the original better though. Okay, Spanish. Alright, so it's very similar to the US one, like the henna covered hands. If anything, it's like more henna-y and everything. Okay, I'm glad. I was scared they'd like whitewash them for some reason. I don't know. Okay, Romanian. So I don't love this cover. She looks almost fake. And I guess she could be Indian, but she almost looks like Japanese to me. And she's very pale. Like, I kind of wish she had darker skin. But they're definitely not like hiding from the Indian nature of it. So I guess it's okay. Oh, Indonesia. Okay. Okay, so this is really weird because of all of these countries, I would have expected, like, if you had listed them out, I would have expected Indonesia to be the last one to whitewash these characters. So, okay, first of all, I think it's very pretty, like her, I don't know if that's supposed to be like a sari or what. It's very pretty. I love it. I love the jewelry, the beading, the colors. They're a little muted, but colorful at the same time. Again, just like a lighting treatment kind of situation. But she looks very white. And I'm normally not this type of person. And obviously these publishers know what plays where they're publishing. So I guess it's okay, but I feel like this is like very whitewashed. So I feel like I need to go research Indonesia, because the other one I felt like where they like super paled that white girl. So maybe that's just like what Indonesia's into. But Indonesia's in like South Asia, isn't it? Like, alright, well. Oh, okay, and that's it. Oh, I don't want to end on that note. That's so sad. It was me complaining. So those are looking at me. Those are me looking at the international editions of some of my favorite romance novel covers. If you watched this obnoxiously long video, thank you. That was very nice of you to do. If you have any input, like if you're from any of these countries and you actually see these covers a lot, or if you see what I showed as the US cover more frequently, let me know. Let me know which you like better. Like, are you more drawn to whatever cover was picked for your nationality? If you have any thoughts or questions or comments, hopefully I didn't offend anybody. I thought this was interesting. Now I kind of want to do it with like YA. Like, I kind of want to go through and pick out like my favorite, like top 10 YA covers, and then maybe like look at them internationally. Or maybe I should do like my least favorite romance novel covers, at least like my least favorite ones I own, and then we can look at those internationally and maybe I'll like them better. Because I'm not gonna lie, I was kind of hoping that I would see these and I would be like, oh, I really want that, and then I would go seek it out. And really the only one that happened was that other edition of A Bollywood Affair. I do want that other edition from Kensington. I'll have to like see if I can find it at some point. But yeah, so maybe I'll do, but that's like really the only one that I really want, which is kind of sad. I was really hoping, because I know there are really good like covers I love, like a bunch of Elle Kennedys and Serena Bowens I really enjoy. So I don't know, but let me know what you think, if you have any recommendations or anything like that. And thank you so much for watching. Bye.